The wedding ended at midnight. Our deal ended with it. And when Ethan let go of my hand for the last time, I felt it like something being taken away that was never supposed to be mine. Sophie and Marcus left in a shower of dried flower petals and everyone's very genuine tears. I stood on the steps of the estate watching their car disappear down the lantern-lit drive, and I felt two things simultaneously: complete joy for my sister and a quiet, creeping dread about what came next. Because what came next was the end of the arrangement. The guests filtered back inside for the last of the evening. Ethan was doing his final walkthrough of the venue, checking on the breakdown crew, making sure everything was accounted for. I watched him from across the room doing what he always did, that precise and careful attention to everything, and I thought about what he'd told me in the corridor. About feeling unfixable. I picked up my wrap from the chair where I'd left it and walked out to the garden terrace. I needed air. I needed a moment that wasn't inside my own chest. He found me there. Of course he did. "Everything's wrapped up," he said. He came to stand beside me at the stone railing, looking out at the dark garden below. The string lights were still on. The jasmine still smelled the same. "Congratulations," I said. "It was a perfect wedding." "It was," he agreed. A pause. "You were right about the candelabra, by the way." I turned to look at him. "I'm sorry?" "The placement. You said it was blocking the sightline from table 7. You were right. I moved it an hour before the ceremony." I stared at him. "Ethan Blake. Did you just admit I was right about something? Don't make it a thing." "It is absolutely a thing." He looked at me then, and the almost smile was there again, and this time it made it all the way. Just briefly. Just enough to change his whole face. And then it faded. "I suppose this is where we go back to normal," he said. His voice was measured again. Professional. The Ethan I'd known for 6 months sliding back into place over the one I'd found this weekend. "I suppose it is," I said. Neither of us moved. "Clara." He said my name the way he had in front of Daniel. Like it meant something specific. "Don't," I said. Quietly. Because I could hear what was coming and I didn't know if I could hold myself together through it. "I'm not good at this," he said. "I know that. I'm controlled and I'm focused on the wrong things, and I'm told I'm difficult to be close to. Ethan. I just want to say it before we pretend this weekend didn't happen. Because I'm very good at pretending things didn't happen, and I don't want to do that this time." I looked at him. The garden lights were soft and gold behind him, and he looked like himself, precise and careful and real. "What are you saying?" I asked. "I'm saying that I have been paying attention to you for 6 months," he said. "Not despite the arguments. Because of them. Because you push back on things you believe in, and you show up for the people you love, and you notice details that matter. And this weekend I got to..." He stopped. Gathered himself. "I got to be someone who was with you. And I didn't want to stop." I felt my throat tighten. "But," he said, and there it was, the word that changes the shape of everything. "But," I repeated. "I don't know how to do this without the structure of the arrangement. I don't know if what I feel is if it's real or if it's the situation. And I think you deserve someone who knows the difference." I looked at him for a long time. And then I said the most honest thing I had said all weekend. "I've been in love with the idea of Daniel for 2 years," I said. "And this weekend, standing next to you, I couldn't remember why." "That's not the situation, Ethan. That's not pretending." He was very still. "But you're right that we need to know," I said. "Because I've built things on the wrong foundations before, and I can't do that again." I picked up my wrap. I looked at him one more time. "So here's what I think," I said. "I think we go home. And I think you call me. Not because of Sophie's wedding. Not because of Daniel. Just because you want to hear my voice." I walked back inside. And I did not look back. Because if I had looked back and he wasn't following me, I wasn't sure I could survive it. I was almost at the corridor when I heard his footsteps on the stone terrace behind me. But he didn't come inside. And in my room that night, I stared at the ceiling and thought, maybe I asked for too much. Maybe the real version of this was always going to be harder than the pretend one. My phone was silent. I didn't sleep. I lay in that hotel room and I counted the minutes, and I told myself that if he hadn't called by morning, I would let it go. I would chalk it up to a beautiful weekend and a deal well executed, and I would go back to my life. My phone stayed dark. And I was just starting to believe my own lie when it lit up at 2:47 in the morning.